What's up? This is your boy Agree to Disagree, and I'm coming at you with some more video reviews. You know what I got for you guys. I got that good stuff coming your way. So I ain't gonna hold y'all up. Let's get right into it.
The more bills a woman pays by herself, the less attractive men become. Because she's now so independent that all she's worried about is taking care of her family and leveling up. To her, a man has no place in her life because he's not bringing anything to the table but headaches and wasted time. Yes, she's in her masculine energy, and that's not gonna change until a real man steps up to the plate and takes some of that weight off her shoulders.
That's not true. That's not true at all. And this is problematic for multiple reasons. One, it reduces a man to his wallet, and two, it makes it seem like all a woman cares about is a man's money. Yes, a woman does want a man who can provide, but that's only a small slice of what she needs from a man. There's so much more that a woman needs from a man. And we also need to stop this narrative that just because a woman works and pays bills, that somehow makes her masculine. I know plenty of women who work, pays bills, and are still able to stay within their feminine frame. To me, that's just an excuse for masculine behavior. But if a woman is in survival mode, that's completely different. Any woman who's out here struggling every single day, just trying to stay afloat without no one to lean on, that's going to harden their soul. But if a man isn't paying bills, there are other ways that he can provide. He can provide protection, he can provide comfort, he can provide affection, he can fix things around the house, he can be a listening ear. We need to stop reducing men to an ATM machine.
Men say, yo, we want this. You can't just keep saying, nah, it don't matter what y'all want. I'm still a good woman. Good to who? You have to be good to the consumer. They gotta buy what you selling.
Amen.
If ain't nobody buying what you selling, then what? Think about it. When you go to a job interview, right? You don't come in there saying, I do marketing great. They're like, but ma'am, this is an accounting position. I honestly feel like women, we are the worst when it comes to this.
We are.
Because dudes are telling us every day physique is a big thing to them. But we like, oh, but I'm smart and I got a business. No one gives a fuck.
Yo, she's 100% correct. And I can remember getting into an argument with one woman about the importance of having degrees within a relationship. And my whole point was this, that no one's saying don't go get your degrees and don't go striving for a high paying job. Absolutely go and do that. But as far as the importance of what that brings to a relationship and what men are looking for, having a bunch of degrees isn't high on the list. I never in my life heard a man say, ooh, she got a PhD. Let me holla at her. Typically, what do men look for in a woman? They want a woman who is in shape. They want a woman who is nurturing, feminine, supportive. They want a woman who is friendly and agreeable. But all y'all want to talk about on the first date is how y'all a boss bitch. Ma'am, that is not going to make his dick hard.
Tell you why black men are out here and the rates are through the roof. They tear us down when we don't communicate and express our thoughts and feelings and sentiments or our vulnerabilities. And then as soon as we talk and express our thoughts and vulnerabilities, we get our ass beat and get torn down for that too. Well, I'm not finna let myself drive me crazy from keeping all this bouncing around in my head. So as long as these interviews are scheduled, motherfucker, I'm gonna show up and talk.
Guys, we have got to stop toxically suppressing our emotions. And the tough part about that is we need a safe space or an outlet where we can express those emotions. Now, a lot of guys want to go and express themselves to their woman, but a lot of times those are the main people who are bashing men for being vulnerable. As men, we're expected to play our part. We're expected to hold everything together and be the strong pillar for the household. But if you show weakness, that can change how she looks at you as a man. That's why I strongly suggest getting therapy. Or if you're fortunate enough to have a tight-knit group of friends, you can confide in them. But if you feel like you can't open up to your friends, then it's about time you get new friends. And I want to clarify, there's nothing wrong with opening up to your woman, but she can only sympathize. She can't empathize. That's why it's better to talk with your boys about some of the issues that you're going through, because they are going to be able to better relate with what you're going through. Also, women tend to say things that are just going to make you feel better about the situation, whereas men, they're more problem solvers, so they're going to give you some real tangible solutions on how you can get through your issues. And fellas, if you have a friend who's going through some things and he comes to you, with his issues and he opens up about it, don't call him soft, don't call him a bitch. Be a good friend and listen and try to help him as best that you can. And be direct with him. Don't sugarcoat shit. Iron sharpens iron. Men build men. That's why fathers are so important.
But I'm saying I can't come home to a full-course meal. What we married for? What we married for?
I'm not your mama. I'm your wife.
I just pulled a 13-hour shift. I just knew I was gonna come home and have some food on the goddamn stove.
Terrible.
And they be playing, man. You been doing it for like 2 or 3 months, man. What is it? You don't pay no goddamn bill. I pay the car note, the house notes, family trips. I pay for.
Oh, hell no.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Man, you know what?
Provide and protect. Provide and protect. That's what you're supposed to do.
Why I can't get no food in the house then? Huh?
See, I'm gonna be real. See, when I first started watching this, I was like, all right, man, it's 50-50. Sometimes you gotta cook, sometimes she gotta cook. But when I heard that he's paying all the bills, paying for all the vacations and all of that, shorty, it's about time you pull your weight around the house. Relationships are about reciprocity. You talked about all the things that he's doing, protecting, providing, he's paying all the bills, paying for vacations. But what are you bringing to the relationship? He's doing his part. When are you going to do yours? This is why it's very important to vet the woman that you are with, because here is a woman who clearly doesn't appreciate what she has and doesn't respect him as a man. Because if she did, she would have a plate hot and ready for him as soon as he got home. I don't endorse divorce, especially amongst black couples, because I want to see more black couples make it. But I really hope that they can get some marriage counseling and they can work these issues out.
Women rate 80% of men online as below average in attractiveness, whereas men rate 50% of women as below average in attractiveness. And so what that means is that the attention of women in an open mating market is focused on a very small percentage of men. And what's happening in colleges and universities where women dominate in terms of proportion of population is that all the women are chasing a very small number of men. So most of the men have no partners at all, and some of the men have more partners than they know what to do with. And so those men pursue short-term mating strategies, which is not so good for the women because they just as soon have an actual relationship. But then you might ask, well, what does it do to the men? And that's easy, is that it trains them to adopt antisocial short-term mating strategies. And that's really bad practice, because if you practice exploiting people for your momentary gratification, then you'll become an expert at that.
That's crazy. Women find 80% of men unattractive, which means you got all the women going for the top 20% of men. And while that's great for the top 20% of men, that really sucks for the bottom 80%. And while, of course, not all women are going to be pursuing a top 20% of men because they simply can't compete and they're going to have to look lower, a lot of women feel like they're settling when they're really not. You see, settling is when you can get a top 20% man, but due to lack of opportunity or lack of patience, you decide to take the next best thing. That's settling. What's not settling is you actually have an opportunity for a top 20% man, but that top 20% man doesn't want you. Because if you're a woman who's in the top 20%, then you can get a man who is also in the top 20%. The dating market is going to determine your value. So if you can only get men who are 7s and 6s, then chances are you're a woman who is a 7 or a 6. So a lot of women need to check their egos at the door and take a realistic reflection as to what they are bringing to the market. But the sad part is a lot of these women, instead of settling for an average guy, they rather compete for the top 20%. And because they are so dead set on not settling and not compromising, they rather be alone than be with an average guy. When in reality, an average guy is probably just what they need. Right? If you're an average man, it's tough out here. Well, that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know what you thought of the video. What points did you agree with? What points did you disagree with? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button. And if you got anything out this video, hit that like button. This is Agree to Disagree. I'm out.